there is this clip going around of this kind of like heartbreaking
Yeah.
story that Elon Musk talks about how he essentially got bullied into letting his kid transition.
Mm-hmm.
So for some context for people, um, Elon is very clearly very hurt by his kid transitioning. He feels duped by the system. One of the things the trans, big trans tells parents with no scientific evidence backing it is that well, if you don't do this, your kid is going to take an early exit from the planet. They would say, well, if you don't let them do this, if you don't let them, transition, they're going to do something to hurt themselves. So parents feel like, holy crap, like I have to allow this, like I have to
Mm-hmm.
do it. And then they do. And then based on all the data that we have now, it actually doesn't help. Like
Yep.
it does not change the rate at which these people self-eliminate. It doesn't change literally anything. They still, and that's why we've seen Europe and other countries start to say, all right,
Mm-hmm.
we're good on that. So I don't know if you saw this clip. Did you see this clip going around yesterday?
I did,
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought I would share it because if you just watch Elon, like you can, I mean, this guy, there's a lot of pain in his eyes when he's telling
Mm-hmm.
this story.
It happened to one of my older boys, where I was essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys, Xavier. This is before I had really any understanding of what was going on, and we had COVID going on, and so there was a lot of confusion. I was told, Xavier might commit suicide if he.
That was a lie right from the outset.
Incredibly evil, and I agree with you that people that have been promoting this should go to prison.
That's
so I
personal
was tricked into doing this, it wasn't explained to me that puberty blockers are actually just sterilization drugs. Anyway, and so I lost my son essentially. They call it dead naming for a reason.
Yeah,
All right. So the reason it's called dead naming is because your son is dead. So my son Xavier is dead, killed by the woke mind virus.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and there's lots of people in that situation.
Let him talk, Jordan. Like the whole interview that he did, like Jordan kept interrupting him. It's like he doesn't pick up Elon's cadence. Like Elon's mind works differently.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's talking slow because his mind is going so quickly that he has to like think about how he's going to say things because he can't actually like communicate at the rate at which his brain is like, his brain is, going through. And it adds a lot of context to like, I'm pretty sure that Elon blamed Twitter for a lot of this stuff. And
that did play a huge role because once they took, because used to a lot of these gender ideology people were on Tumblr, I believe, and then they started making changes on Tumblr, and a lot of them moved over to Twitter instead. And yeah, I think that there wouldn't be nearly as many kids pretending to be the opposite gender if it wasn't for social media and Twitter playing a huge role in that.
Yeah, essentially, rewarding it in a way. There is a social currency to
Yep.
tuning out. There really is. Like, you get a lot of
I
attention.
mean, look at Jazz Jennings. Oh, Jazz got his own show. Oh,
Yep.
maybe if I do this, like, I can be famous like Jazz and all that. And another sad thing about it, too, is what they were telling, these doctors were telling parents is, oh, puberty blockers are reversible. You can always go back if they change their mind. And that's not even true. You can't just experience puberty in the same way as you get older. And in this case, this was a boy. So he's not going to get he's going to be stuck with like a micropene or something like that because of this.
Yeah, and you know, like Elon, you know, I think it's safe to say like he really obviously has a stake in this. I think there's something in the last, and there's just like 30 seconds left here.
No,
Right.
it's not pretty, and lots of demolished kids.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a good reason to be the final straw. All right, so let's.
So I vowed to destroy the woke mind virus after that. And we're making some progress.
I mean, like, damn, Elon.
I
like,
know, that was like a mic drop moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not kidding. He is 100% dead serious. Like, I don't love the name woke mind virus, but it's what he uses. And
but it is, though.
It is. It has
been, it's a contagion, like a mental social contagion. It has been like brainwashing in a lot of ways too. We're out of like people's common sense that knows, okay, there's two genders. You cannot change your gender. There might be someone born with some deformities, and so their reproductive organs didn't develop as it was intended, but still there's two genders. And so we had people trying to brainwash us out of our own common sense. Oh, there's gender is a spectrum. Sex and gender are two different things. By the way, you can be this, whatever you're feeling at the time, your gender is fluid and all this stuff. So yeah, they absolutely have been brainwashing people with it. And especially children, because I mean, even look at adults and all of that. He got tricked into doing that to his son. And as embarrassing as it is, a lot were supporting this stuff. I was at one point. Yeah. And so, yeah, they definitely weaseled their way in with manipulating people, brainwashing people. And then the whole, oh, but don't you want to be accepting? Don't you want to love people? You're mean if you're not going to accept this person's reality. And yeah, it is a mind virus.
Yeah. I'm sure his kid hates him now too, obviously.
I know, and that's sad. That is so just devastating.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. I think that Elon hates it so much that may have been the single issue that led him to buy Twitter. And he doesn't care about it ever making money, because he's super rich anyway. He doesn't care. He's just like, I want to destroy it at its source, and so I'm going to buy Twitter to slow it down. I think, I think what he's saying is obviously it's heartbreaking, because you mentioned earlier, Jazz Jennings. I mean, look what they did to that kid.
Yeah.
That kid is probably not going to, I will say, probably not going to pass away of old age. There's all sorts of problems.
He's a basket case. So not only all of the problems with his body that they mutilated and ruined, and that Frankenstein gina that they created, that they have been very open about. Oh yeah, we messed this up. Oh, we didn't have enough tissue to work with, this, that, and the other. And so that has just been a nightmare in itself. But then also Jazz's emotional state is not good. He's gained all this weight, got depressed, saying, I don't even feel like myself anymore. And while his mom is gaslighting him, oh, that's normal. Oh no, I get it. I've felt the same way before, when that's not even the case. It's just, you cannot relate to what you put your kid through.
His parents made him get a Frankenhole
Yep.
and told him that he would be just like any other girl.
And I want to say he was only 17 as well.
He was young. Yeah.
I don't think he was even 18. And so that was just a flat out lie that they tried to tell us that, oh no, we weren't doing surgeries on anyone under 18. They were. Little girls as young as 11 years old with their parents' consent could get their breast tissue removed.
Yeah.
And they were performing these surgeries on children.
Yeah, and this dude's got a rot pocket now.
Yep.
And like he's got to put a what do they call it? Like
a dilator.
Yeah, you got to cram this thing upside you so it stays open because your body sees it as a wound.
Exactly.
It's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I imagine that just about anybody would would have mental problems when, you know, especially this kid's parents, when this kid finally, you know, hopefully they can try. There are people who have detransitioned, and, you know, obviously with Jazz, there's a lot of damage that will never be repaired.
Yeah.
But if they can at least get right in the head, like, hopefully they can become advocates for the real side effects, the real problem. Because I predicted this, I'm sure you did too. For a very long time, I have been saying there will be a reckoning with all these surgeries and puberty blockers. You're going to start to see all these clinics quietly close. We're already starting to see lawsuits. You're going to see more lawsuits because these kids are going to grow up and going to say, well, it was just a phase and my parents signed off on this thing and the doctor told them that, you know, chop off a big piece of my thigh and make it look like a Pillsbury dough canister. I mean, if you ever see the pictures of how they make this thing, it looks like a medical experiment done in Nazi Germany.
It does.
Like, I don't know what that thing is, but I can't imagine being a biological woman and having them take their pants off. And it literally looks like a can of Celsius, but like flesh colored. It's very weird.
And
I've never seen one like once it's healed, obviously, but I see the pictures of how they make it. It is absolutely disgusting. Yeah.
That's the thing, is someone like Jazz in his position now too is he's stuck in a bad place, because now if he does want to say, hey, I want to go back to being a dude because that's what I am, then he's already put in a position to where he was supposed to be this advocate for transgender ideology.
Yeah, they're going to turn on him.
They're going to turn on him. He's going to lose all of his friends, all of his following, and that's going to expose the fact through this. That's child abuse. So, we can already see that that's the case, but him even saying, hey, you know what, this was a phase, I'm a dude, I'm a boy, and I'm supposed to be a man right now, so I'm going to do that, then he is exposing his parents as abusers. So obviously he loves his family, so he's stuck in this bad position now where he has to just deal with all of this stuff. Otherwise he's admitting that he was abused and he's losing everybody.